Welcome to my channel. Liberty Old Coin Australia Top 50 St. Elizabeth II coin. Two valuable coins today. We're not just looking at a coin. We're going on a treasure hunt. First up, we're turning the spotlight on a very special piece of Australian history. The 1977 50-cent coin commemorating the Silver Jubilee of Queen Elizabeth II. Now, before you scroll past thinking it's just another old coin, you should know that this little piece of metal has a story that connects us directly to a grand royal celebration that took place nearly half a century ago. This particular coin was born from a moment of national and global festivity. It was crafted by the Royal Australian Mint to mark the 25th anniversary of Queen Elizabeth II's accession to the throne, a milestone known as a Silver Jubilee. The year 1977 was filled with street parties, fireworks, and a wave of patriotism across the Commonwealth, and Australia wanted to forever capture that spirit within its currency. So why go through all the trouble to make a whole new coin? The decision to create a commemorative design was a way for the nation to stamp its joy into the very fabric of daily life. Every time someone bought a loaf of bread or a newspaper, they would be handling a tiny piece of the celebration. It was the Royal Australian Mint's way of saying that this wasn't just a date on the calendar. It was a moment to be remembered in copper and nickel. Now, speaking of metal, let's clear up a huge point of confusion right now. You see the word silver in Silver Jubilee, and it's easy to think you're holding a precious metal bullion. But here is the critical truth you need to understand. Despite the name, your standard circulating 1977 50-cent coin is not made of real silver. It is actually struck from a durable cupro-nickel alloy, which is about 75% copper and 25% nickel. Don't let that fool you into thinking it isn't valuable, though, because value isn't just about metal content. Look closely at the artistry. On one side, we have the sophisticated second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, crafted by the renowned artist Arnold Machen. She wears the famous Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a wedding gift from her grandmother. Flip it over, and you see the genius of Stuart Devlin. He designed a stunning reverse featuring a central wattle blossom, surrounded by 25 overlapping crowns, representing the 25 years of her reign and the unity of the Commonwealth. But why am I telling you to check your drawers for this exact coin? It all comes down to the numbers. The Royal Australian Mint released a massive number of these coins for general circulation, over 25 million pieces in fact. With that many out there, you might think your chances of having a jackpot are slim, but that's where the magic of minting comes in. Because of that high mintage, the true value isn't just about the coin existing. It is about the condition it has survived in for the last 49 years. Let me tell you exactly what you should be hunting for. If you pull out a coin that looks like it has been through the war, with scratches and dings from decades in cash registers, it is likely only worth its face value, maybe $1 or $2. But if you find one that is sparkling, with full, undisturbed luster and sharp details, that is a completely different story. A brilliant uncirculated piece, one that went straight from a mint roll into a protective case, can easily be worth $5 to $15. That is a fantastic return on a 50-cent investment. However, if you want to talk about maximum value, we have to discuss the crown jewel of this collection. We are talking about the proof version, but we need to talk about the biggest secret of them all first. Did you know there is a version of the 1977 50-cent coin that is a ghost? The PCGS confirms a mind-boggling mint error where a small number of coins were struck using the wrong reverse die. Instead of the Jubilee crowns, some coins ended up with the standard Australian coat of arms. This mule error is so rare that experts believe fewer than 10 of them exist in the entire world. These are the holy grails that can fetch prices well into the tens of thousands of dollars at auction. If you can't find a ghost coin, your best bet is the official proof set. These coins were struck specifically for collectors using polished dies and planchets, resulting in a mirror-like finish. While the mintage for proofs is still in the tens of thousands, a flawless proof example in its original government packaging is the treasure every serious numismatist desires. So what is the maximum price you can actually sell this coin for? For the standard high-grade uncirculated coin, you are looking at a realistic top price of around $15 to $30 in today's market. But for the rare proof version in its original packaging, collectors are willing to pay significantly more, often reaching $50, $75, or even passing the $100 mark for perfect specimens. And of course, if you ever find that once-in-a-lifetime error coin, the 1977 mule with the coat of arms, you aren't just selling a coin. You are selling a piece of Australian minting mythology. That unique ghost coin has a maximum potential value that could soar past $20,000 or even higher, depending on the condition. This is why every collector needs to check their change. The 1977 Silver Jubilee 50-cent coin is more than just currency. It is a historic artifact, a piece of national pride, and potentially a hidden asset waiting to be discovered. Whether you find a high-grade uncirculated gem or the infamous mule error, this Australian classic proves that the next big score might be hiding in the most overlooked place in your house. Happy hunting! Next coin, we are talking about a true modern classic, the 2001 Australian 50-cent coin featuring the New South Wales coat of arms. This coin isn't just pocket change. It's a piece of history that could one day be a serious investment. The coin story begins with a major milestone in Australian history. In 2001, the nation celebrated the 100th anniversary of Federation, the day on 1 January 1901, when the 6 British colonies united to form the Commonwealth of Australia. To mark the occasion, the Royal Australian Mint launched one of the most ambitious coin programs since decimal currency was introduced. Instead of creating a single commemorative piece, they released a whole series of 50-cent coins, 9 different designs in total. Each one honored the journey to Federation by featuring the unique coat of arms of a different state or territory. The New South Wales edition was the very first state to sign up to the new Commonwealth, making its story especially important for collectors. The design of the NSW coin is a miniature masterpiece of heraldic art. The coat of arms of New South Wales was officially granted by King Edward VII in 1906 and is rich with symbolism, but its story goes all the way back to the state's beginnings as a British Crown colony in 1788. You will see the shield supported by a proud lion and a bounding kangaroo, a unique combination that represents the union of the old world and the new. At the center is the state badge, which features the Red Cross of St. George. At the center of that cross is a gold lion, and in each arm is a golden 8-pointed star representing the Southern Cross. In the corners of the shield, you will find the golden fleece and sheaves of wheat, symbols of the agriculture and the wool industry that built the early colony. Above the shield is the crest of a rising sun, symbolizing the promise of a newly formed nation, which is a perfect metaphor for the dawn of the 20th century. And below the shield is the state's inspiring Latin motto, Order Recens Quam Pura Nights, which translates to newly risen, how brightly you shine. Understanding the mintage numbers is the first step to understanding this coin's potential. The Royal Australian Mint produced 3,042,000 of these NSW 50-cent coins for circulation. While a mintage in the millions might sound like a lot, you have to realize that these coins faced the wear and tear of daily life for 25 years. Every time someone bought a coffee or paid for parking, these coins were jingling around in pockets, getting scratched, and losing their original mint luster. In the world of coin collecting, condition is king. This leads us to the most exciting part of the story, the current selling prices. A standard circulated coin in good condition might only be worth a few dollars, but a coin rated by a professional grading service like PCGS as gem uncirculated can reach prices of $25 to $35 or more. If you have an official Royal Australian Mint, uncirculated version in its original packaging, we have seen those selling for around $4 to $10 with ease. But the real value is in the proof editions. Proof coins are the absolute pinnacle of the minting process. They are struck on specially polished planchets with polished dies, creating a mirrored, cameo-like finish that is nothing short of stunning. A single, standalone 2001 NSW Federation proof 50-cent coin is currently valued at around $20. However, the most desirable items are the 3-coin proof sets. These sets were officially packaged by the Mint and include the NSW dollar, 50-cent, and 20-cent coins. These sets have a very low mintage of just 9,923, making them far rarer than the individual coins. These official proof sets are currently selling for strong prices, with recent sales closing at $51.75 each. The full 2001 proof set, which includes coins for every state and territory, has a mintage of just 56,569, and those sets have recently been sold for as high as $143.75. Now here is where the real treasure hunt begins. The 2001 Federation series is well known for mint errors, which can dramatically increase a coin's value. The most valuable and sought-after error is the rotation error. This is a fascinating mistake where the die was not aligned correctly during striking, so if you flip the coin over, the reverse design is not perfectly upright, but rotated to an unusual angle, like 90 or 180 degrees. There are reports that these rotation error coins can be worth between $50 and $100, making them a fantastic find for any collector. Keep an eye out for doubling as well, which is an error where the design appears doubled on the text or artwork. The coin community has noted that doubling is surprisingly prominent on the Federation issues. So can this coin be valuable in the future? The answer is a resounding yes. The reason is simple mathematics, supply and demand. The number of high-quality, professionally graded mint state coins is fixed, and it cannot increase. As time goes by, more of these coins will get lost, damaged, or removed from circulation. At the same time, more and more Australians are becoming interested in their history and collecting coins. As a result, future collectors will be competing for a pool of coins that is getting smaller every single year. The fact that the Royal Australian Mint produced no regular 50-cent coins in 2001, making this entire Federation series a unique one-year-only design, only adds to its long-term appeal. The maximum value you can get for a 2001 NSW 50-cent coin depends entirely on its quality and rarity. For a raw, circulated coin you find in your change, you might only get the standard coin value. But for a certified high-grade, uncirculated example, a price of $50 to $75 is a very realistic target. The 3-coin proof set has a proven maximum value of around $60. However, if you are a truly serious collector, the ultimate prize is a high-end proof, error coin. If you found a pristine proof NSW 50-cent with a dramatic 90-degree or 180-degree rotation error, you could be looking at a maximum value that soars past the $200 to $300 mark. What this means for you is that right now, you have an incredible opportunity. While many people see these coins as just 50 cents, you now know the secret to finding real value. You can search for a rotated error in your spare change, or you can look for an official proof set online for less than the cost of a dinner out. The value of this coin is not just a hope for the future. It is already being bought and sold at these impressive prices today. The key is to act now, before the rest of the world catches on. Your 50-cent coin might just be a ticket to a valuable piece of Australian history. Happy hunting!